6, 5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
On Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Not with a Coca-Cola opening the show. With a Pepsi. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Boy, the only reason you could have that attraction to it is because of the color of the can. That's the only way.
What up? What up? What up, Coach?
Oh, man. You need your caffeine to get you going? I'm really worried, boy.
I've only had one today, so I needed just a tad bit of a pick me up, just a tad bit. But I am actually hyped today, Coach. I am so hyped today. It's crazy. It is so crazy.
I can understand. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach, the Pepsi man, and your reporter's favorite jump shooting, no turnover, behind the back, between the leg, jump shooting man from Washington, D.C., Rick the reporter. Ooh, look at him working out on those dunks on the 9-foot goal. I'm mad. Do your thing. Do your thing.
And that's about the only goal I can dunk on now. Maybe with a tennis ball. But what's happening, my Coach? You're looking so I don't want to say presidential, almost reverend-like in the white insights. Loving it, Coach. Loving it.
Oh boy. Hey, I got to take that, Rick. From you, that's what I got to take. I appreciate it. You know, we try to keep the colors, try to change it up a little bit so everybody understand that, you know, we got more than one thing. That's just the brand. No, that's the brand. Like my daughter told me, she said, Daddy, didn't anybody know what the swoosh was when Nike started? I said, oh, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
You know,
so
on our show, you know, your favorite other Rick ended up being the only one picked Kansas. He ended up winning. But we actually rewarded Coach Jeremy Ruffin and Coach Dion Desir, because on the 3 shows that we had, they appeared in all 3. Now, you know, it takes something to do that, and they were on all 3 shows.
Indeed.
So we actually did a pizza party for them at with their team and with their class, and actually it went pretty good. I mean, they were a very appreciative crew. You know, they were, and anytime you do something and the kids appreciate it, that.
You ain't take this piece. This piece of mine. Oh, I got this one. I got the whole one.
Coach Gill said, boy, they went through that pizza so quick. And, you know, the FAMU High DRS, they're the reason I actually started doing games. She had me come out and talk to them. Coach Desir did. And out of the 20 varsity JV guys out there, when we asked them if any of them had ever heard of INSiiGHTS, because we hadn't been out in a couple years, 18 out of 20 of them put their hand up. And that kind of let me know that the brand was surviving. And they asked me when were we coming out and cover DRS, and that they would love for us to come out and tape them. And, we were still wrestling a little bit with going out doing that.
Right.
And when we went out to do DRS, the JV game was going on, and about 5 of the varsity players from FAMU High came up in the stand, shook our hand, thanked us for coming to see them play. I mean, to take their game and stuff. So it kind of rewarded you for people who appreciate, what you do, because it's for the kids. Hashtag it's about the kids with a Z. It's about them. What do you got to say about a Tiger?
Wow. Amazing. And no matter if he does get out there on Thursday at 10:34 a.m., I will have the TV going. But it's where he's come from in this year, from where he was after the accident, where many probably he even thought that he wouldn't even play again, not competitively, and to come out and just have some practice rounds, I think is great. I am a Tiger fan. No apology necessary for that. If you don't like it, oh well. But I am a Tiger fan on the golf course, and what he means to the sport. I mean, you can see the practice rounds were filled when they said Tiger was going to be out there. That's never happened at Augusta. And so that just tells you the power that this guy has, not just the charisma, not just the people love being around greatness. Tiger is one of the greatest, if not the greatest in golf ever. No offense to the old guys, the old pros, the jacks and all, but they've never done what Tiger has done and taken this sport to another level, just like Jordan did in the 90s. I mean, Magic and Bird resurrected, I think, the NBA. Michael Jordan took it internationally with the Olympics and the Dream Team, but he took it to another level. Tiger did the same to golf.
They made a comment about what does it mean to Tiger and what does it mean to golf for him to be back. And they said it means everything for golf. They said because Tiger moves the needle, and he does. I mean, most of us follow golf because of Tiger.
Exactly.
Tiger.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm excited. What about you?
I'm excited about it for him. I mean, just the fact, it's an excellent story to tell. I mean, what do you remember the last time he won? His son running out there, grabbing dad. I mean, just, his son thought he was like a video game because he had never saw his dad win.
Right.
And it meant a lot for Tiger to show his son that. And imagine what he's showing his son now in terms of perseverance, in terms of overcoming odds, in terms of, son, you don't give up. No matter how dark, desolate, and dreary it is, you don't give up, you don't quit. Even though everybody says you can't do it, you can do it. So it's a lot. There's a lot of layers to what he's doing. And he walks with a little bit of a limp, but there was a time they thought he wouldn't walk at all. So when you see your dad come back, that you've seen him in the hospital, you've seen him like that, you watched him come back. He started golfing with you and the father's son, and now to be able to compete again, it has to be instilled upon you that never say die attitude, and that are willing to try, the willingness to be able to try to overcome everything, no matter the odds.
Yes. Wow. Amazing.
It's a lot of layers to it, huh?
I'm still just amazed. I mean, 1 year. Jeez. Amazing. I hope to see him out there on Thursday. And like I said, I don't even care about the score. I don't. I know he does. But I don't care about the score. I want to see him just swing it and be able to just go through a round and the whole round, and then I'll be all right. I will be all right, Coach.
Well, you have to know that for Tiger to be out there, he's out there to win it.
Oh yeah,
That's him, and they're saying he's looked phenomenal. So we'll see. And for that, that reason, that's why I said a lot of us when we play golf, it's because of Tiger. It's because of him.
Yes, agreed.
Good morning. We had a celebrity with us, Jan. We've been renovating the city's pro shops and the courses, and I think the final straw was getting the pro shop up here at Gaither, and it's just open. Jan, how does it make you feel to come in and see it completed?
It makes me feel fantastic. It came out better than I imagined it could come out. I hope people come out just to look at it because it's worth it. The bathrooms are fantastic. It's all updated, beautiful colors. Come on out and see us. Course is in great shape as well.
Hey, what are your plans moving?
And it must be in good shape if you're out here.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go. Jan, the city keeps continuing to upgrade the golf courses. What's next? I mean, you upgraded Highlandman, you upgraded Gaither.
Because we care about it, and I think that the city realizes the importance of golf to the community. And, and we want to give back to the community like the community is giving to us.
With all the records, everybody at Jake knows him. Johnny, how's it feel today to be able to come in now and see the pro shop? You've been here so long. What's your thought on it?
It's magnificent. One of the very good. 39 to 42. Love it.
Thank you, sir.
Old school, few words.
Right. And get that camera out my doggone face.
Old school. But when he talks, people listen. You best believe.
You're right about that. Now,
I got to go there. I have to play that course. I've run the golf course. I've run that golf course before, but I've never played it.
Well, it was built in the 1950s during the segregation era for African Americans to play. It's a pillar of the community. The city is currently working towards it being added to the National Historic Registry.
Oh, wow.
The city commission is expected to vote on Wednesday to accept a nomination to add the golf course to the National Register of Historic Places. If approved, the nomination will then be sent to the National Registry of Historic Places. That's pretty significant. That's pretty significant.
You said the 50s?
In the 50s, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In the 50s. In the 50s. Now, we got the famous, the infamous, the man who needs no introduction. We got Gene Granger coming on here in a minute. He's going to be able to share some wisdom like he always does. But before we get to him, and we'll ask him some of those questions too, but in fact, I'm gonna bring him on now because we can ask him as we go. Coach Granger, welcome to Insights again. I won't even call him a guest. We'll call him a friend of the show.
Coach G, what's happening?
What's going on, bro? Were you spinning on the left hand? I didn't know you had to spin down with the left hand ball spin.
Bruh. No one knows this, but I usually go to the left more than the right. So
hey, well, we that's a good thing because I used to as well.
We have a lot in common, Gene.
This I know.
How did y'all enjoy the Final Four weekend?
It was close. It was exciting to watch. I mean, I think everybody got their money's worth.
I loved it. I mean, you know I've said my philosophy up here: A, B, C, D, S. Anybody but Carolina, Duke, or Syracuse. And so when Carolina took down Duke, I was extremely happy. And then when Kansas took them, it was I jumped around like I won the championship. But no, seriously, the games were phenomenal in themselves, and not just the men's games, the women. Oh my goodness. I mean, congratulations to Don Staley for snapping that UConn streak of 11 straight championships. Once they're in there, they were 11-0 when they were got to the finals. Congratulations to South Carolina and their teams as well. But back to the men, just wow. That game, the championship game, back and forth.
Stop. Don't go to the men yet. Coach Staley did something. She took her foot off the gas and almost cost her. I have never seen Gino as frantic as he was when the Gamecocks were roasting that room. The team was 30 seconds away from giving up. I mean, when they interviewed him, he was, if we don't rebound, it's going to be worse than this.
Yes.
And she called the dogs off the rest of the starters a minute. And our player of the year from last year, she got a little warmed up for a minute. Did you see the move when she spun? She came back, went behind her back, spun in a circle, and hit a jumper from about 18. That was a playground move that Gene used to do when he played horse, because nobody else could do that but him. But Paige Becker's unleashed that for a minute. But South Carolina thoroughly roasted that rump, though.
I mean, Paige didn't score in the first quarter, and the Kristen Williams and the freshman, as I cannot pronounce the name, Azee Fudd, they were non-existent for the whole game. I wonder how much that semifinal game took out for them. And you coaches can tell me this. If you have a really emotional semifinal game, is it hard to get that emotion back up if you're only playing 2 days later?
I'll let Coach Granger answer that.
I think there's levels where it might have an impact, especially if you're one of those like smaller schools coming out of a regional championship, making it to the Final Four. You maybe had an exciting game 1, exciting game 2, and the adrenaline was at its peak, and you might face a team that's been dominating by 10 more than double figures. They may have more gas in the tank or more enthusiasm, more room for that adrenaline. But you never know. You never know how that plays a factor. I know that we, for me as a player, I've made it to a Final Four and won and got to the championship. And, you're thinking one thing, both teams are thinking the same thing, that we're ready for anything. And, so you just don't know until you're in that moment.
And one of the things, even before the game, there were some things that went on during that weekend with the HBCU All-Star game. And also, there was some.
Okay, now.
you know it's a good dunk when you don't know how good a dunk it is till it's in slow motion. And the last one, I was like, they were going nuts, and I was like, I don't see what's so special about. Oh, he threw it off the board. And then caught it again and dunked it. I'm like, and then the guy in the middle was like 5'11". He's looking in the rim. And we can't get any of the NBA players to do some dunks, to be in a better dunk contest than what these guys just did at the college level.
They might need to just raise the goal up.
I think they try too hard in the NBA instead of just doing what's natural and just booming that thing. I mean, and those were impressive. You may think just the alley-oop is when you throw it to yourself is not a special one, but when you put that boom to it, shoot, people respect that. People know what that is. You got to boom it though.
Well, Moran said if you take the winning purse to $1 million, he'll get in it.
Yeah, I bet a lot of them would.
You say you bet a lot of them would.
Yeah.
Now moving along, did you see that Notre Dame is playing host to their first HBCU?
I did. TSU.
Tennessee State.
That's big. I mean, you know, it's a money game for TSU, but it's big that Notre Dame is finally opening its doors to be more exclusive. And sure, I mean, yeah, it's a game. I mean, it's practice for them, but it means a lot. It really does when programs like that opens up the doors. I remember John Thompson saying, man, and I've said this on the air before, how can you give to the NAACP on Saturday and not play their teams on Sunday? It doesn't make sense. So by opening your doors, you're not just talking about it, you're being about it. So hats off to Notre Dame.
Coach Granger?
I mean, anytime you can get that, play on that bigger stage, I think for all the schools who may not get that opportunity, I think that's what it's about, building bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Building bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Coach, before you move on, did you see the HBCU All-Star game, though?
I did not.
Okay, Coach, did you see some players who could compete on the next level? I thought I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're playing college basketball as a Division I athlete, or you never know what coach at the next level might be looking for. And I think they had some of the commentators that one was point guard that played with San Antonio Spurs, won a national championship. You have your big rebounder from the Detroit Pistons who went to HBCU, won a national championship. So they were all there, I think, supporting that game to show that there's a current HBCU player in the NBA. So all of these athletes that were, I think they were mentioning during the game, they all had some great messages to share with the world and exposing that, like you said, if you have the talent and you have a desire and you have the work ethic, that league is for you. That league is for 300 good basketball players who want to play. And right now, about 100 of those jobs are international, and then you take another third that may be, subject to one and done type guys, or even less than a third of that. So, the shrinkage is not that, there's not enough positions or opportunity at the NBA. It's, there's opportunities across the world for basketball. And so giving these players another opportunity to get exposure and then them giving them some more content to possibly get a job overseas, and even get a job in another country. There's so many different places to play. It's just about getting the opportunity, and I think that game gives them another chance to play and show their skill level amongst other elite players, getting everybody on one game and one gym.
Agreed.
But Coach, even as the coach at Maclay High School, you've had some guys that have been highly recruited, and you had one a few years back signed early to go to Florida State, and supposedly going to be a one and done. It's a lot to the game to be able to get to that level. But tell us a little bit about what you have going with GBL, and you have your fingers involved in so many pots you stirring with youth sports and youth basketball and the NBA league that you have for the kids and everything. Share a little bit about some of the things that you're doing with these kids in the community.
Well, it all goes back to being able to provide a quality basketball experience. I think for me, the area is not just like Tallahassee. It's the whole region of Florida and any state touching it. I feel like if we have the opportunity to make a good impression or a impact on an athlete, I'm gonna do my best to do that. So we started once the opportunity presented itself to run some organized basketball events for some elite high school teams and travel programs. I started doing that, and over time, other organizations and other programs, wanted that same experience of running running the events and their teams participating in it, and that's what's kind of grown into what it is now for our GBL platform, and it is it's all basketball management, and that doesn't limit tournaments or camps or summer leagues, but on the other side is that I'm also a head coach of a high school, and so our high school, being able to give our high school opportunity to compete, and some of the things that we have locally, like summer leagues and having a feeder program for our junior NBA, and giving our guys a platform to get better, and playing in some of the things that we create, whether it be a fall league or winter league or a summer league. We do things on that scale too. The travel programs, we go out and invite all programs from various parts of the country to compete against each other, and then we share their success, the talent, the players. We share that on our platforms where we have coaches that we communicate with that follow. Social media is our biggest one of our biggest, I guess, qualities that we communicate through, and that allows people to see when our tournaments are, where they can travel, and the whole part of the travel is that it's about exposure. Not just a kid getting exposure to a college program or getting recruited, but it's about those kids getting out of their normal environment and giving them a place to go, and giving them something to do, and giving them a teaching, a learning lesson. And that's what it's about.
Well, Coach, where are some of the places that you host tournaments or you're involved with playing outside of the city?
I mean, it's about a dozen different cities between Daytona Beach, Lakeland. We got Biloxi, Mississippi, Las Vegas, some more new areas that we're gonna keep releasing areas, and Wilmington, North Carolina. So it's a lot of different areas that we have relationships with and have established. Miami is going to be, a new big place that we.
A new frontier.
Yeah, it's about the facilities and and where opportunities are.
Okay, Coach. As you said, you're also a high school coach at a successful program at Maclay. But having also been a parent and coached AAU and at the university, there's sometimes there seems to be a growing conflict sometimes between the AAU programs and the high school programs. With you on both sides of it, what can be done to make sure the best interests of the student athlete are served?
Well, I think that isn't always the case, and I think there's always going to be a situation where there might be a coach that doesn't like a travel coach, and a travel coach that doesn't like a high school coach. That's with anything, and but I don't think that's the overall feel, and that's the intentions of anyone. But I think open lines of communication, between the player and understanding their role, maybe on their high school team, and then knowing that role on their travel team might be different. And so to not make your one role make that the same role for the other, if that's not, the goal of the program and the coach. But it's just a matter of just understanding and being very, very straightforward. So that if the style of play is something different, because travel ball is get up and go, it is about running, and it is about speed. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot more moving parts. And in a high school game, everything is just focused. Boom, you got one game a day. High school game, you're playing one game. A travel ball, you might be playing 2 or 3. So it's just a difference. And you just work through it.
I found that a lot of times, the conflict comes when, as you said, they have different roles from high school and AAU. But actually, the travel team's usually the best of wherever they're from. So they the competition level of it is different. And a lot of them come off of that and go back to their high school teams with a better understanding and a better game, because they've improved playing against tougher competition every day. And traveling, playing 2-3 games a day and playing in highly competitive situations, I think that that can't help but make a student athlete better.
Agreed. The talent, you have to have talent, to play, especially with some of the elite events, whether it be a shoe brand event or a national event. That's going to bring the best out of you. And, I encourage everybody to play as much as they can and to get quality basketball in. Even with our month of June, we try to play at least 20 games, so we can get better. And it doesn't leave it up to the travel program to do all the improvement.
Oh, wait a minute. So the 20 games you play during that month, that's your high school team playing 20 games?
Yeah, we try to get into everything we can with team camps and, summer league. And, and then I know they're going to go back to their travel programs, so we try to do all we can too on our part. I just so happen to manage travel tournaments. It's just one of those things where I understand that basketball is going to be around regardless if I choose to be involved with youth basketball on the travel side or just focus on, only coaching during high school season. We coach year round, all the camps and we have our own Maclay summer camp, all the leagues, all of that is to build better basketball in the area and ultimately give all of us high school coaches in our area better tools when they come to us, and which makes better basketball, which makes more recruiting in the area. And it's a snowball, hopefully, that we create because we have all of these opportunities for people to compete, whether it be on the weekends or during those periods during the fall, winter, or summer where we're doing the leagues, because ultimately these kids are going to go to high school and then they're going to play and we're going to be the ones coaching them. I'm going to be coaching against them. And if that brings better competition, now college coaches are coming, and that recruiting is a side effect of all of these programs that we're we've created and we're going to continue to do.
Well, what advantage in your experience have you seen in terms of a student athlete that plays during the summer competitively, and that one who takes that time off?
I mean, I think they're both. There's a time for both of that. I don't think nobody can take the summer off and have the results because you gotta put your training into action. You got to be able to practice what you've been practicing on real competition. Now, playing every single weekend might not be necessary, but I mean, playing every single weekend in a tournament where you might play 10 minutes in a whole game, that might not be advantageous either. So it's just getting a balance, just getting a good balance.
Rick, do you see how politically correct Coach Granger is?
He's always been that way.
Yeah, if you don't play, you're okay. If you do play, that's okay. I mean,
no, you got to play. You got to play, but you can't. Like some kids, when I say play every weekend, some people will go to a travel tournament every weekend. Now that kid who's playing and getting minutes and getting better and getting into situations, that person might be improving from that. But the other kid who is just playing like 5 minutes and that took away, 72 hours from where they might have been home doing some training, doing some skill work, or doing something that's going to make them better. That's what I mean by that. I think everybody needs to play though throughout. I played every day. There was no days off.
You see how he did the stroke. Even if the kid doesn't play, if you're in a good program that's practicing a couple days a week, because now there are teams that just show up game time and play. This I don't know how they do that. We couldn't have done it, but we practice at least twice a week, and that's where most of our skill improvement and enhancement came, was from practice. And we've had some kids that came and might not have played a lot, but when they went practice, when we practiced, worked on their game, and when they went back home, everybody was like, "Oh my God, you've gotten so much better," because they took that practice time and helped it to enhance and improve themselves. A kid who doesn't practice, and there are some that just kind of chill. You have them on the Christmas break and Thanksgiving break, which is why coaches try to play, even in college, through those holidays, because the longer you give them off, you almost have to start all over. If you get 4 or 5 days break at Christmas, when that team falls back in there, only maybe half your team has run during that time. And if the kids you have on your team went home and it's north, they didn't run in the snow. I mean, I've run in the snow trying to run in the tracks because it snowed 12, 14 inches, and I'm trying to run in the truck tracks going down the road. Rick, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when you get back to school, you're gonna die. So you have to find a way to do it. But I know a lot of the guys are like, "Man, bump this," and I couldn't get in the gym. The gym was closed and it was cold. And you could tell the minute they walked in the gym that they took that time off, regardless of the reason. My game wasn't good enough. I need to play in my sleep. I need to be all the time.
Likewise.
Rick, you got a question there?
Yeah, Coach. Coach G, you were talking about how the games are in at the high school level in Tallahassee, especially. Are you getting support from the other coaches who see what you're doing and not thinking that you're out for self, but you're really just trying to help the brand? Do you see a camaraderie between the coaches in the city up there?
Yeah. I mean, we have one. We compete against each other when we play. So, we're not doing anything out of the ordinary as far as our high school schedule and what we do, and then our summer league that we just started to do, because we wanted to enhance what we were doing. And part of that was we added a shot clock. and we wanted to play games with a shot clock. So that's why, individually I did that, but it benefits everybody, because we have different facilities. Our facility, we have 2 basketball courts, we have 2 full courts at our campus, and we want to maximize the usage of all that. And so no, if I don't think everyone in every single city, every high school coach, they're going to like each other, but we compete. We compete, and I think it's an understanding that people know the history of me and as the programs that I ran, and I think that helps. That it's pretty steady. Gene Granger is not going to be a different person tomorrow than he was today, and what I'm trying to do is not going to change in a way that I'm out for something personally. Most people know me that I got everything I need, and it's not out to get anything extra, but it is, we do want to make basketball better, and that's what we're gonna, we're always gonna do that.
Okay.
And Coach G, as always, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Coach.
We will have you on again. I told you before, we're gonna have you on again. And
Yes,
as I said, we don't call you a guest anymore. We call you a friend of the show.
Well, I appreciate it. Anytime I can lend a hand, I'm here.
Rick, you didn't know that Coach G's also been my right-hand person broadcasting some games before COVID came in.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, he a multi-talented coach here. I mean, I met him when he was coaching at Florida Southern, and you could see that he had that twinkle in him, that something special. So no, I didn't know Coach, but it doesn't surprise me.
I appreciate that, Rick. I from Lakeland to Daytona Beach, you've always been just been a source of information, a person to bump into at the gym, and show great love. When I got the job at Florida Southern, I had 2 players on the team that were older than me, and you always was approachable, and like I said, we've good people. Everyone that I've crossed paths with in basketball, has been a long lasting connection, and that's what I try to tell. The basketball is a big teaching lesson, and it's a big key to my life and my lifestyle, and all the people I've met. It's like everybody's still just genuine and will always be there as a lending hand. I feel like if I'm out of gas or if I'm out of money, I could call Rick and say, "Man, I need a hotel. Somebody took my wallet."
Maybe not if you're out of money, he might not have.
I bet Rick could make the reservation. I know Coach Clayton. I could call Coach Clayton blind and tell him
That's right.
I don't know where I'm at, but I need you. And that's
We'll get you set.
Really be out of gas here.
Yeah, we'll get you set. I might not personally be able to do it, but we'll get you set, G.
I know I got nothing to worry about. That's why I say I appreciate every connection all the basketball has done for me, and I'll forever be grateful. It's allowed me to do something that a lot of people don't get to do. I get to go to the gym every day. I get to learn from students, and they get to learn from me. So it's just a fun thing to be a part of, and continue to build bridges and make connections.
Well, we appreciate you, Coach Granger.
Thank you, Coach.
The Rick Brown segment, remembering the legends, and we appreciate you. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Rick. See you later.
Final Four national semifinal game between South Carolina and Louisville, I just marvel at how far the women's game has come in the 50 years since Title IX was implemented. I mean, from the TV deals to commercials to the WNBA, women's basketball has really grown and come into its own. On today's Legends of the Game, we take a few moments to recognize one of the pioneers of women's basketball. Before the Sue Birds, Diana Taurasi's, Cynthia Cooper's, Cheryl Miller's, and Lisa Leslie's, there was Lucy Harris, aka the Queen of Basketball. Born in Mentor City, Mississippi in 1955, Harris would grow to become a 6'3", 185-pound force of nature during the 1970s. While attending Delta State, her school of choice, Alcorn State, didn't have women's basketball at the time. Harris did not let being the only black player on the team hold her back. She led the Lady Statesmen to 3 consecutive AAU national championships and was named tournament MVP for all 3 titles. Yes, AAU because the NCAA didn't have a women's tournament during that time. In those 4 years that Harris played, Delta State were going to win 109 games and lose just 6. Harris was a 3-time All-American. She averaged 25.9 points and 14.5 rebounds during her career. Oh yeah, she was a baller. Harris made the initial USA basketball team to play in the 1976 Olympics, where she led that team in scoring and helped Team USA capture a silver medal. She also holds the distinction of making the first basket in women's Olympic play. Man, Harris was so good, the New Orleans Jazz of the NBA made Harris the first woman to be officially drafted by the league, although she declined. That alone should tell you how good she was. Her dominance recognized, Harris became the first female college player to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 1992. She was later inducted into the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame and was among the inaugural class to be inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Harris died earlier this year on January 18th at the age of 66, but her story continues to grow. The story of her life, The Queen of Basketball, which she narrated and has Shaquille O'Neal and Stephon Curry as executive producers, won an Oscar for short subject documentary. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. It's great. You will see a humble person who didn't really care about fame. She just wanted to play basketball. And no one in her era did it better.
AIAW, boy, I remember those days because NCAA was not concerned about doing anything with women's sports. You know, they fought that bitterly. The AIAW had 2 divisions, small college, major college. If you were in small college, you had to play everybody in the state. If you were in major college, you had to play everybody in the state. We had a rivalry going with Florida State. Florida State was major college, and they called on that state law that, I mean, the rules in AIAW that they didn't have to play us because we had gotten to where every now and then we beat them. Well, without any additional money in the budget or nothing, we decided to go major college, and they had to play us. And in fact, had to play us twice. Florida State went a long time trying to find a way not to play us because we were able to get them from now on. now and again. As I've said, if you look at the record book, the women's basketball team at Florida A&M University, when your boy was coaching them, we beat Florida State more than all the other programs at our institution combined and doubled. We beat them all the time, but we beat them more than anybody else beat them. So AIAW was the force behind women's sports in Title IX. NCAA got behind it begrudgingly. And even on this show, we talked about last year's March Madness and the disparity in the gifts and where the kids stayed and how they didn't take care of the women athletes. And there was a tremendous backlash on that. And now the discussion is that they want to have both tournaments in the same place. I don't know if I'm convinced that's the best solution. I don't know if I think that's the best solution. I like them doing Friday, Sunday, and Saturday, Monday. I like that. That covers the whole weekend. You're in different parts of the country. To me, that's almost a lazy way, the NCAA trying to have everybody there at the same time. But I think each school, each championship needs to have its own identity and all of that. And I don't know where you can go that would actually be able to. There's not many places that would have the marketing capabilities, and maybe Atlanta, Miami, LA, to be able to hold all the people that it's going to bring. But that's a little background on the AIAW. And that was a good piece you did on remembering the legends. Good job there, Rick.
Thanks, Coach. And I was thinking about you the whole time I was doing it, because I was like, I know you've heard of Miss Harris, and I know this was around your time that you were either playing or you had stopped playing and was getting ready to start the women's program at FAM. So that was a little personal for me, just because of you. in a roundabout way, but still, when I heard about her, I was amazed, and I almost say this is the person, the star that you have never heard of, but everyone says that. But I had to read up more about her. I mean, geez. And then when I watched the documentary, it's only 22 minutes, but it is subtle, but at the same time, it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she's so humble. She was so humble.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, wow, just amazing. Please, people, watch it, find it. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that.
And at Delta State in Mississippi? Because Delta State they were like a legend. Delta State and Louisiana Tech, they rolled pretty good. And especially in Mississippi, you can imagine that they had one of the top programs in the country, led by African American. In Mississippi. Her story has a lot of layers to it. It's a lot of layers to it. But we really appreciate that. What you did on it, a typical Rick Brown job well done. We appreciate y'all being with us today. Coach Granger being with us. And the extra pieces we tried to put in the show for you to make it a little bit more interesting, and just in case you saw a few things that you missed, like the dunk show by ESPN. We just grabbed a few pieces of it. I mean, I was like, oh no, I got to show this to people. It's ESPN work. It's not our work. It's ESPN work.
Yes,
but it was a heck of a dunk contest that let you know, again, there's a lot of dunk creativity out there, which from where your background is in basketball, in those doggone playgrounds in the city, it's on every park in the country, especially up north in the Northeast. There's an NBA team in the park.
Really? No hyperbole there. This is true. You always go to a place and you say, he could have made the league.
Yeah.
He could have made the league if he could have made the league. He should have been in the league. It's true stories. True stories.
What you had to me, he found Jerome James in the playground.
Mm.
True story, because he went to a Christian school that didn't have a basketball program.
Mm.
Found him in the playground for real. He had 2 scholarship offers, Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman, and his mom went to FAMU. That's how we ended up getting. True story. I mean, and in the park, you see 6'8", 6'9" walking around the park all the time. 6'8", 6'9" that can play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always some guys that's over there playing in brogans and boots and ankle weights, and running up and down the court. And when I came to Florida after I left Cleveland, I still think the guys up north their basketball skills were better than the Southern players.
I agree with that.
Southern players were more athletic. The smallest joker you want to see would be trying to pin your stuff going to the board. I mean, they made me step up my whole game. I was like, that little something, can you try to back? Man, you're pin your stuff up there. Dunk on you too. And you sit there like, wow. But them guys run all day when you get to Florida. They're athletic as heck, But that, and we, that's an argument for a whole nother day, a discussion. But again, Rick, we appreciate you. We appreciate Coach Granger. We appreciate our crew that was on the coaches panel.
Yes, yes.
We're going to get us some stuff, and we're going to send them some special edition stuff, just for being there and sharing their time with us and having their kids involved. And we appreciate that.
Definitely appreciate them. Definitely.
And Rick, as always, I appreciate you, my brother.
My brother.
Stay up to date with the latest from Insights. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.com.
Insights is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on Insights represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Go Pepsi.
Only yo, Coach.